Following on from a video I created regarding the top 10 changes I would like to see with Monster Hunter World Iceborne, a lot of hunters gave their feedback in terms of game mechanics they would like to see changed. From weaponry, skills, monsters and more, there was a lot of feedback, but one thing stood out for me, which is changes to palicos in the game. So, I'm Darcblade, and here are 5 additional changes I would like to see to palicos and felines in Monster Hunter World Iceborne. As mentioned in the top 10 changes I would like to see to Monster Hunter World Iceborne video, Monster Hunter World Iceborne as a game is in quite a good place. It's fairly balanced, and any additional changes or features I mention in these videos are purely personal opinion and mostly nitpicking. Whilst feedback is important in any form of artistic work, these are 5 features I would like to see maybe implemented into Iceborne, which I doubt it will be, or maybe future Monster Hunter titles. So the first change I would like to see is different skills on the Palico armors you can craft. At the moment, Palico armor is just simply minor stats in terms of resistances to different elements and such. But it would be interesting to see some form of Palico skills added to the various armor bits we can create. With this we could create Palico mix sets, and while not as in depth as Hunter mix sets, allows for a few more options and maybe for our Palicos to take on set roles. In previous Monster Hunter games, Palicos had a lot more skills to play around with and equip themselves with. Skills on our Palico armor could allow for this, and potentially more. Which brings us on to the second change that is kind of linked to Palico armor sets, which is layered Palico armor and weaponry. Of course, if we were creating mix sets for our Palicos, then it would be nice to be able to craft layered armors for them, as normally the best mix sets out there kind of make you look like you're wearing a clown suit. Layered armors would solve this, but it's not really an issue in the game's current state, as you can pretty much get away with wearing any Palico armor set, even if it's low tier, and rarely it's going to make a huge impact on your Palico's performance. However, when it comes to weaponry, most of the time players use weaponry of the paralysis or sleep nature. And whilst these weapons are fine, it would be nice to change the look of them occasionally, and this would be where layered weapons come into play. But as I stated, this is a very minor thing and would only really be applicable if the first change was implemented. Which brings us on to the next addition I would like to see added to Palicos, which is changes to the Palico's skills, namely Palicos being able to pick up shinies on the battlefield. Sometimes when you're fighting a monster, you don't always have time to pick them up, especially if you're in a heated fight. On top of that, it seems that they have quite a quick cooldown before they despawn, especially in the Gaiden lands. Having your Palicos be able to pick up these shinies would definitely add some quality of life to a hunt, especially like I said in regards to the Gaiden lands. Now this doesn't necessarily have to be an innate skill for the Palico per se, it could be attached to one of the many Palico items out there. Off the top of my head, the one that came to mind is the Plunder Blade. In my personal opinion, when the Palico is using the Plunder Blade, when it gets access to the move Mount and Plunder, it is one of the least valuable moves associated to the Palico gadgets out there. It only really rewards you with money, and this could have been replaced with the option to allow your Palico to collect all shiny materials in the area instead. This would definitely have helped for endgame Gaiden land farming and more. At the moment, Mount and Plunder only really benefits you if you're low on Zenny, and to be honest, there's a lot more efficient ways to actually get money in the game. So that was one change I would definitely like to see. Now shout out to hunters out there who commented on this, as this was one of the standout suggestions for changes with Monster Hunter World Iceborne. But anyway, the next change I would like to see is the return of Prowler Mode. Now it is exceedingly doubtful that this is going to return with Monster Hunter World Iceborne, but I would love to see it return in future Monster Hunter games. Prowler Mode was introduced in Generations and allowed you to go on hunts playing as your Palico. Whilst these hunts were a little bit more simplified, they were definitely a change of pace and very enjoyable. Seeing this return would definitely be welcome, and in a way it would allow you to connect more with your Palico. And the final change I would like to see to Monster Hunter World Iceborne is more changes to the Felines, Grimalkin and Raider rides in the game. When you call in help from these various tribes via the Palico Tell Raider signal, which you get for completing the Boa Boa tribe's questline, you're able to call in assistance from the various tribes of Monster Hunter World. But it would be useful to choose who assists you. This is because the various Grimalkin tribes specialise in certain playstyles almost. The Protectors are more like tanks, the Bug Trappers are obviously trap and crowd control based, Troopers focus in buffing your hunting party, Plunderers are of course all about loot, and the Gajalaka and Boa Boa are more DPS focused. This, coupled with the variety of raider rides you get, means that you can choose a little bit of a team composition when you use the Tail Raider signal. This is kind of essential for solo play. Now, in a way, there is already a way you can select who assists you, as the various tribes are locked to certain regions, like the Trappers are in the Ancient Forest, Protectors Wildspire Waste, the Troopers are in the Coral Highlands, Plunderers in the Rotten Vale, Gadjalaka in the Elder's Recess, and Boa Boa in the Hoarfrost Reach. But in the Guiding Lands, you can pretty much get any of them. It's pretty much randomly selected. Being able to favour or actually choose who you get in the Guiding Lands would definitely be a welcome change I would like to see, and could potentially make hunts feel a little bit easier when you're going into things solo. But there we have it, those are 5 little additional changes I would like to see to Palicos and Felines in Monster Hunter World Iceborne or future Monster Hunter games. Now, of course, like I said, these are just minor nitpicks, they're nothing too essential to be honest, but nonetheless I wanted to share this video and to hear your opinions in regards to Palico changes out there. So leave a comment down below, and until next time, I've been Darcblade, bringing you 5 changes I would like to see to Palicos in Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Hope you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching, subscribe and like for more.